A brisk autumn weather front has been hovering over the midsection of Alabama most of today. Wet and windy early on at Legion Field in Birmingham. Getting better right now. This is where the college football game will be played today that will determine teams for the Sugar, the Citrus, and the Cotton Bowl. And there is a championship to be won as well. ABC Sports College Football, proud to bring you the 1993 SEC Championship game presented by Dr. Pepper, matching the Florida Gators and the Alabama Crimson Tide. And the roar behind us as the Tide makes its way into Legion Field. Some folks still say, Bob, this is an Alabama field. All right, this is a rematch of the two universities we saw play here a year ago, but it's not the same two teams. For one thing, All-American cornerback Antonio Langham ineligible, associated with an agent, maybe signed with him. He's out of the ball game for Alabama. For both teams, they've got troubles at quarterback.
Well, they do. Both starting quarterbacks are out for this game. Jay Barker for Alabama was hurt in the Auburn game. That was their last game of the year. And Danny Werfel hurt last week against Florida State. But that hurts more Alabama than it does Florida because Terry Dean will start for Florida.
Terry Dean is seasoned. Now, strength against strength in the matchup. Alabama loves to run. Florida can stop a run.
They can, and you think that Florida's going to come out on the head of this one because Florida cannot defend the pass very well. They can stop the run, but without Jay Barker starting at quarterback for Alabama, they go to Brian Bergdorf, and they've had problems throwing the ball without Jay Barker.
We do have the tiebreaker rule in effect today, so we're not going to go home to the supper table with a tie. Lynn Swan will be with us shortly.
Terry Dean at quarterback. We've got both his parents here, Frank and Nancy Dean. I've got to ask you, you said that you can notice things about Terry doing pregame warm-up. What have you seen?
Yeah, you can tell he's got a little quicker gait, a little lively step, moves around a little bit, more animated in his motions than normal.
Sometimes they say his concentration goes. How do you feel about his emotional or psychological state coming in this ballgame? You talk to him.
Well, you know, the season's been an emotional roller coaster ride, but he's learned a lot from it. He's learned to be steady, take what comes, and go with that.
We're going to have a chance to see how he performs this afternoon. Thank you very much. Kate?
All right, Swanee, thank you. Let me correct my bowls, too. The Gator Bowl, not the Citrus, is involved in the outcome of this game today. David Palmer, number 2, and Chris Anderson is back there. Number 33, Shane Edge will kick it off. And Edge, who also does the punting, hits it high and back to the 3-yard line for Palmer. Here comes the noose up the middle. And he's out to the 29-yard line. And so Palmer gives Alabama pretty good starting field position. And the Florida man is down on the field as part of the coverage team for Florida. Brian Bergdorf will be the starting quarterback for Alabama this afternoon. You see the numbers on him for 1993. With Jay Barker gone because of knee surgery for the season, they're starting a quarterback. David Palmer, however, probably will be seen there later on today, and probably Freddie Kitchens as well. The man down on the field is number 98, Anthony Riggins. He is a defensive end and part of the coverage team for the Florida Gators. He was shaken up on the kickoff coverage. David Palmer is a very important personality in this Alabama offense. He's averaging, as you see, 14 yards every time that he touches the ball. So that's an imposing figure. Sherman Williams and Tarrant Lynch will open in the backfield with Kevin Lee a wide out and Tony Johnson at the tight end. And you probably will see Palmer and Lee and Chad Key and others involved in a lot of misdirection and reverses before the day is done. Riggins is all right, just been deflated a little bit, probably by a hard hit, and he's walking off the field. So Tarrant Lynch now is the single back in as a fullback. He's the big man, 225 pounds. They pitch it back to Palmer. Palmer looking to throw the ball, throws it back to Bergdorf, and Bergdorf has got some room. He'll take a pretty good lick as he goes down at about the 48-yard line. So Alabama starts out with a gimmick play, and it works. The offensive line for Alabama is anchored by Toby Shields, a very good center, 250-pounder. And Matt Hammond is making his 49th start for Alabama at tackle. That is a record at the University of Alabama. Ozzie Newsome held the previous record at 47.
Bergdorf took a pretty good hit on that first play, Keith. If I was short of quarterbacks, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, he did take a lick. Well, you know that they're going to nail him if they get a chance at him. This is Lynch, the fullback, catching the ball. You will not arm tackle Parent Lynch. And I think the Florida coverage people just found that out as Larry Kennedy came over and he ran right through it. William Gaines had a terrific ball game last week for Florida against the Seminoles of Florida State. They lost it, but Big Bill, he had a horse of a game. Ed Robinson is the leading tackler for the linebackers and the team at Florida, and they need a big game out of him. Monty Groh had something like 18 tackles last week against Florida State, coming off a broken arm. That happened about mid-season. Forrest Turner is now the fullback, and the pitch goes to Chris Anderson, the tailback, number 33, and the senior from Huntsville has another big gain for the Tide and a first down at the Florida 30-yard line. It would be a very, very, very big series for Alabama if they take it, stick it in the end zone.
Well, the thing that Alabama has had problems with is throwing the football. They come out in this game, the championship game, and throw the first 2 times they have the ball on offense. That sends a message to Florida defensively that they're going to open it up.
We understand now Riggins, the man who was hurt on the kickoff coverage team, has a separated shoulder. This is Anderson, caught from behind, taken down by Kevin Carter, number 57. A loss on the play of about 3 yards. Kevin Carter is another fellow who had a big ball game last week against Florida State for the Gators.
The toss to the right of your screen, the tight end, number 5, Johnson, is going to miss the block on Carter. The strength of this Florida line defense is their defensive line. Carter is the defensive end, and there you see him right there. He has 7 sacks coming into this ball game.
David Palmer out of the shotgun. Quarterback draws what that amounts to, and he takes it inside the 25 down to the 24. So he picks up 8 yards on that carry, and they'll be looking at short yardage on the next snap.
Ron Zook, the defensive coordinator for Florida, says every time Alabama breaks the huddle, find David Palmer. Find where he is. If he's a wide receiver, we have a plan. If he's at quarterback, we have a separate defensive plan. At quarterback, he's going to run the option, he's going to run the sprint out, or he's going to run the quarterback draw, what you just saw.
Bergdorf is back in now at the quarterback position. 3rd down and 4. Bergdorf looking around, throws underneath. The pass is completed to Palmer. Palmer's got a first down inside the 15, down to the Florida 13. So we suggested to you at the outset, and I think we've done it every game that we've covered for Alabama the last couple of years. You got to know where this guy is.
And he's in the backfield this time, a little halfback. We told about wide receiver and quarterback. This time he just runs a little swing, little circle out of the backfield, and makes 2 linebackers miss and picks up a first down.
That is 100th career catch for David Palmer. First down, ball just inside the 14-yard line. Opening possession of the ball game. Florida's in the neutral zone. Question was, were they drawn? Gene Stallings pacing on the sidelines. Been a trying season for him. His 4th year at Alabama, 39-8-1, and it's Florida offside. So the Alabama offensive front was poised enough to hold their position, and they drew the Gators off, and that gets Steve Spurrier moving around and holding his head a little bit. 4th year for Steve at Florida as well, and his name starting to surface again in some pro rumors. The ball is at the 9-yard line, and Sherman Williams is the deep man for Alabama. Williams Runs it inside the 5, and a penalty flag is thrown across the way. So that one is in some jeopardy. The referee is Mac Gentry. Gators again. That's the second time they've been called for offside down on this end of the field. And so Alabama is edging ever closer to the goal line, and that should be just about a first down for them as they walk off the 5 yards.
Alabama inside the 20-yard line has been in there 50 times and has only scored 24 touchdowns. That is not a good percentage of touchdowns for times you've been inside the 20-yard line.
Alabama's got it about a first and a yard just outside the 4-yard line, the hash mark, and the marker is just inside the 4.
Palmer's
back in there at quarterback. This time he goes under center, pulls it down, takes off. First and goal, Alabama. The ball is just inside the 2. And Palmer took a pretty good hit himself from Hanks and Kennedy.
This is one of the plays that Palmer likes to run, especially inside the 10-yard line. Flanks on the right side, all the blockers are over there. He just takes the ball, and he is tough to bring down. He is not a big man at all. He's 5'9" and 170. If he continues to take that type of pounding, you wonder how long he'll last.
Officially, it's the 1-yard line. Bergdorf is under center. First and goal, Alabama. Bergdorf almost dropped the ball. Gives it to Lynch. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
Like Florida had a pretty good penetration, but Lynch just found a crack, and for a split second may have cracked the goal line.
Michael Proctor is in for the extra point try as Alabama takes the kickoff, goes down the field, sticks it in the end zone. The kick is good. 10-13 to play first quarter, and it's your turn, Florida. You're behind 7-0. Alabama now will kick off to Harrison Houston and Jack Jackson for the Florida Gators. It's William Watts doing the kicking. He's a freshman out of Pleasant Grove, Alabama. The Tide going 71 yards in the opening possession of the ball game for a 7-0 lead. And Watts hits a knuckleball that skims and sails and goes through the end zone. And Florida will go to work at the 20, first down. David Palmer. He ran for 12 and led the team down the field. Now it's Terry Dean who comes out. Terry Dean, who started the season as the starting quarterback. Lost his job, regained it. Now he's there for this entire ball game because Danny Werfel is out with injury. Eric Rett had a very big ball game here a year ago against Alabama. Let's see if he can repeat it today. Florida last week was -38 rushing against Florida State. It is Kelvin Randolph and Eric Rett lined up in the eye, and that's Houston in motion. Dean back, gives to Rett, coming around this side, and gets the ball across the 25, picks up 6 on the carry. Last week, Rett carried 7 times and gained 7 yards. He almost equals that in his first try today. The offensive front shows some difference in Gracia and Mitchell, new starters up front. They were not happy with the running game last week. Swain Watson Odom renewing their starting position. So the Gators wearing the white shirts. So looking at 2nd down and 3. Dean back to throw. Has all day and completes the pass across the 35 up near the 38 to the fullback Randolph out of the backfield. Shannon Brown, Gregory Jeffries, and Jerry Nunley back healthy now finally. He's been banged around and dinged around with injuries most of the season. Levansky Hall has to have a big ball game today for Alabama. He's one of the emotional leaders, and Willie Gaston steps over there to the quarterback spot vacated by the ineligibility of Antonio Langham. First down from the Gators from the 38. Go to Rhett. Rhett is hit by Lemansky Hall, the senior from Valley, Alabama. Took him right off the ground. He'll gain a yard.
There's a look at Willie Gaston. He is replacing Antonio Langham at that corner position. He has started the last 5 games at free safety, now moves over to a corner position, which he played before he was at the free safety. And that's who he has to cover, Jack Jackson, the leading receiver for the Gators.
Call it second down and 9 from the 39. Dean rolls out, has good blocking again, throws the ball right through the hands of his fullback, Randolph.
The important thing early for Terry Dean is to relax and calm down. And speaking with Spurrier earlier in the week, he said, Terry gets a little bit worked up, is a little hyper sometimes, gets a little excited. If he just calms down, just relaxes, he can get into a very good rhythm.
Third and 9. Pass is away, and it's incomplete. Willie Jackson was down there. Willie Jackson was being covered by Tommy Johnson.
He was covered, Keith. Nobody open. Alabama, Bill Oliver, the defensive coordinator, doing a nice job on the first series of mixing up the different fronts and the coverages against the Gators.
Shane Edge, punting average on the season, about 43.5 yards per punt. And Palmer's the deep man. Ever dangerous. Crowd quiet, anticipating. Took a long time, and they almost got him. Coverage downfield. David Palmer drifts over, takes it out of bounds at about the 17, maybe the 18-yard line.
Please on mute.
And return the kickoff for 27. That's 69 of the 71 total yards. Ryan Bergdorf is the quarterback. He turns, gives that ball away to Williams. Williams coming around the corner with a big play, but there is a penalty flag across the way. It is thrown by a lineman. Look out for an illegal block or a hold.
A 19-yard gain on the play and a first down for Alabama. There's a flag on the way.
Holding, offense, 10 yards, foul, first down.
Big play wiped out.
One of the linemen then went through. That Shields, the center. Doesn't look like there's any holding there. But one of the linemen, Toby Shields, was named all SEC.
I didn't see any hold.
I didn't see any hold there either. But, Keith, it seems to me that Alabama has overcome the loss to Auburn much quicker than Florida has overcome.
You want to tell that man that?
Yeah, well, not on that play. I mean, it was a big play, probably something they had. But the point is, Alabama's had a week off to get ready for this game. Florida, just the loss to Florida State last week. I don't think they've overcome that loss yet.
Ball back, way back in there. First down and 18 now, and here's Palmer in the end zone. Throws it, and it is caught by Lynch, the fullback. I mean, Palmer threw a balloon trying to avoid being sacked in the end zone for a safety, and Lynch just happened to be in the right place at the right time and saved an interception.
The left side of your screen, 57, the defensive end is Carter, right there on the left side. He gets a call on him. He throws it anyway. It's unbelievable. That ball could have gone up in the air and been picked off.
Could have been in the end zone with the folks wearing white very easily.
A lot of trick plays. Alabama has already pulled a couple of them, with Palmer included, but a lot of trick plays by Alabama on offense.
He got time called by Alabama, leading in the ball game by a score of 7-0. In the Southeastern Conference, that's why they're here, opposing the Alabama Crimson Tide. Florida beat Tennessee in Gainesville 31-24. And Auburn ineligible because of NCAA sanction. Alabama, even though they lost to Auburn, is here as the champion of the Western Division. So it's a rematch from a year ago. And they painted the field, and the paint is now coming off because of the wet and the rain onto the uniforms of the players.
At 43 that you see on there is in honor of the Antonio Langham, who is ineligible for this game and the bowl game.
It is second down and about 15. Ball back on the 13-yard line. Bergdorf with a little play action, pulls it down, takes off, fumbles the ball out of bounds. Or did Florida get it?
I don't think the ball ever went out of bounds. The Gator defender did. I don't know if the ball was out or not.
Alabama keeps it. Lucky. Very lucky.
This play action pass and pretty good pressure there forces Bergdorf out. The field is wet and slippery, and the ball just comes out. Now, does it get out of bounds? Can't tell from that angle.
Well, Patterson recovered it, and Alabama keeps the ball, and it is third down and about 25. Ball is on the 3-yard line. Palmer is under the center at quarterback. Down the line he goes. It's a sweep. And he's after the 6. And now Alabama will have to send out their punter to kick it out of his end zone.
How different was that possession from the first possession that Alabama had? First possession was 8 plays and a touchdown. This time they went backwards.
Brian Deal comes out to punt the ball. Number 17, Cirola Palmer, is the deep man for Florida. And Deal is averaging just under 44 yards per punt and has been very good lately. And that is a long, low driving kick. Gives him some room to return it, though. And Palmer finds his way back down to the Alabama 42-yard line. So it was a good long kick of 54 yards, but it was low, and Palmer was able to return it. About 17.
Take a look, Keith, at what both teams want to do. They've got to get, Florida's got to get Rhett back in the offense. Last week he was out of it completely, and Alabama needs to have an effective passing game, which they had on the first drive when they scored their touchdown.
So put it in play at the Alabama 42 with Eric Rhett has the ball right here, and they stop it. Linesman threw the flag on this side of the field.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, offense, first and 15.
Third mistake by the Florida Gators in the ball game. Reggie Green, who was set down, did not start. He had started every game since he walked on campus to play ball at Florida. Today he did not. He did not, apparently, in the minds of the coaches, play well last week. But he's on the field now.
I was on the sideline.
Sidelines now.
He'll be there shortly. You can be sure of that. He is an outstanding.
He will play before the day is over.
Yeah.
Into the middle, Rhett carries. So he regains what they lost on the penalty. And out there where they're working right now, there's a lot of that paint that was washed loose over the night and through the early morning hours of today in a very heavy rain. So it's not nearly as pretty as it was when it was put out. 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. It is second down and 10 for the Florida Gators. Dean chased out of the pocket, dumps it off to Randolph, and he falls down. It's an incomplete forward pass. The field is relatively dry in the middle. Lynn Swan pointed that out some time ago, that the crown is high enough here at Legion Field that the water runs off the middle. Wet on the side, dry in the middle.
This is a cat and mouse game between the defense for Alabama and the Gators offensively. Bill Oliver, the defensive coordinator, going to 3-man line, then some 4-man line, mixing up his coverages.
Third down and 10 for Terry Dean. Good protection. Goes big into the end zone. No. Incomplete. Pass intended for Chris Doering. Sam Shade was back there with him. Doering had the edge at 6'4", but Sam went up at 6'1" and knocked it out of there. And so it is 4th down for the Gators.
Number 14, Shane Edge, in the punt for the Gators.
Edge first punt, 44, you see. That's just about his average on the year. Now let's see what David Palmer can create. Alabama didn't have much luck with that last possession. They spent the whole time with the goal line right at their back. Palmer calls a fair catch and lets it go. The ball's bouncing around inside the 10 and goes out of bounds at the 9. So that's quite a punt. Edge knocks it out at the 9. Monday night, ABC Sports will head into the Lone Star State for an NFC East showdown. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. That'll be at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
Looking at that Florida defense, this is what they are in the nation. They're 9th in the nation against the run, 85th against the pass. So you would think that if Alabama's going to get something done, the easiest route would be through the air.
Bergdorf, the quarterback. Ball goes to Chris Anderson. And Chris Anderson, give him a crack. And he'll pop through it. And he did there.
Stopped by number 35, Michael Gilmore.
Move the chain. 3 carries, 21 yards for Anderson.
First and 10, Alabama.
Michael Gilmore, number 35 there for the Gators. He is the designated Rhodes Scholar for the state of Florida. Sherman Williams is now the deep man for the Tide. Got a little room to operate. Ball is out at the 20. Bergdorf gives it to Williams. Not much there that time. He was absorbed by Big William Gaines and Ellis Johnson and David Bernard.
From behind the defense, you notice there are 4 orange helmets right there. That is Shield 61, who has snapped the ball and is pulled. But nothing. Monty Grohl, number 10, gets a part of it.
2nd down and 9. Middle, incomplete. Pass intended for Chad Key. So the ball apparently wet. Didn't get a good grip on it, and Bergdorf had almost no rotation on the knuckleball as Lawrence Wright was blitzing and coming right down his throat.
Bergdorf is making his 3rd start of the year. He came in completing 54% of his passes, and it's going to be a tough day to complete passes with the ball being wet most of the time.
Shotgun. 3rd and 9. Inside Palmer, and he is taken down in a hurry by Lawrence Wright. Number 4, the redshirt freshman out of Miami, makes the big play for the Gators, and Alabama will have to punt it.
Well, they're going to be looking for David Palmer everywhere he goes. Expect double coverage.
Number 12, Brian Neal, going in punt formation for Alabama. Going deep for Florida, number 17, Palmer.
Palmer is back. Woo! Beautiful kick by Deal. 2nd one, he is nailed, and again, a wall set up for Palmer's return. Big return. Poor coverage by Alabama, and Gene Stallings is just jumping up and down on the sideline. So the punt is 51 yards.
Out-kicked his coverage.
But the kicking coverage is not very good. Tonight on ABC, of course, the Gators might substitute it. The Olsen twins from Full House star in a holiday movie special. To Grandmother's House we go. Rhea Perlman and Jerry Van Dyke. Then the commission is the world of the rich and jaded to solve a murder. All tonight starting at 8/7 Central Time on ABC.
Eric Rett around that end, his first, number 22.
That's Eric Rett carrying the ball for the Gators, and again starting a possession on the Alabama side of the field.
2nd time, Keith, they've started a possession and really offensively got out there and went on a quick count. Alabama is substituting their players in late and really did not get ready defensively for that snap.
Second down and 6 as Rhett picked up 4 on that play.
Here's a different look for him. They got 8 men at the line of scrimmage.
Change his play, too. Yeah, he's taking a lot of coming. He's nailed by number 52, Michael Rogers. I mean, Rogers timed it perfectly and came flying. Well, we'll see if it was perfectly because there's a flag out there.
Procedure. Offense.
This is mind games. The defense is playing mind games. There you saw 78. That's Green, their left tackle, maybe a couple other guys. But Dean, the quarterback, saw the situation, knew that the play he had wasn't any good. There is that's the Florida coaches. Yeah, we'll find Bill Oliver play in a minute.
Pass is thrown down the middle, and it is caught by Willie Jackson down around the 31-yard line. And that is good for a first down.
There's the Alabama defensive coaches, Bill Oliver with the headset in the center, lower center. He's been going against Steve Spurrier for like the last 9 years. They've been in the USFL, they've been in the ACC, now in the SEC. Spurrier wants a timeout, didn't get it.
Little quick pop pass to Willie Jackson. They get a pretty good play out of it inside the 15-yard line down to the 14-yard line. And now here's Lynn Swann.
Keith, you and Bob are talking about Oliver and what he has to do defensively. Before the game, he told me with Antonio Langdon out of the lineup, he literally lost half of his defensive coverages. That's because he doesn't have a person back there who can play as tough man-on-man defense.
Willie Gaston is the man in that position that Langham occupied. It is a first down for the Gators inside the 15-yard line. Dean throws wide open. Touchdown, Harrison Houston.
And who did he beat? Willie Gaston.
Nowhere near him. Houston was open by a good 5 yards.
1 for Spurrier, 0 for Oliver. Here's Gaston right here, who replaced Antonio Langham. Is going to run down a hitch and go, and the defensive back is going to jump on the hitch. Little hitch right there and go. Spurrier waited to the right time. Langham would have been all over that one.
Judd Davis, the winner of the Lou Groza Award this year, is in for the extra point try. It is good. And so, with 1 minute and 2 seconds to play in the first quarter, we're all even at 7.
Take another look at the touchdown. Gaston is at the top of your screen. Little pump by the quarterback. Nice job by Terry Dean. Patience, take your time, set the hook, let him take the bait, and then lay it in.
Going to be a long day for Gaston. Terry Dean in that possession hit 3 out of 3 passes for 45 yards, including the touchdown.
Gaston is a good defensive back, but as I mentioned, he's been playing free safety the last 5 weeks. And when you get out there on the corner, you're exposed. And he was just burnt right there.
Number 14 will be kicking off for Florida.
It will be a busy day for the defensive coaches
And number 33,
on the Alabama side of the field particular, because we have made the point well that Steve Spurrier will stretch your defense.
Yes, he will, and he won that possession.
Harrison Houston's catch, incidentally, his 100th career catch. This is David Palmer from the 5. Works his way back up across the 25. He goes down at the 28. There, Alabama will go to work first down. A 7-7 ball game with 55 seconds to play in the first quarter.
David Palmer. First and 10 for Alabama at the tie 28.
Florida took only 4 plays to go 44 yards. Good field position on that drive.
Bergdorf at quarterback. about the line of scrimmage. The more you go to the sideline, the wetter it gets. And he tried to plant his inside foot, and it wouldn't get right. Coming up on a half minute to go, as you see, in the first quarter. 7-7 tie. Alabama took the opening possession and went downfield 71 yards. Bergdorf is now in the shotgun. And they stop him.
Dead ball, healing procedure against the offense. Take a second down.
Both teams making little mistakes. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. This, the SEC championship game, presented on ABC Sports by Dr. Pepper. And with the championship goes the ticket to the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl game in New Orleans, New Year's night. When this game is finally done and the voting is done by the coalition people tomorrow, we'll finally know who's going to play in the Sugar Bowl against the winner here. Bergdorf's pass is quick, complete to Kevin Lee, but not a whole lot of yards on the play. Picked up about 4. First quarter's over, and we're all eating. Auburn alum, obviously getting a little gig in here. Auburn beat Florida by 3. And Alabama by 8, both on Auburn's home field. But Auburn is not here because they're on probation from the NCAA. Ryan Bergdorf is the quarterback. Very good protection, throws a good pass, drills it into the chest of David Palmer, and it's good for a first down. Move the ball out past the 40.
Tackle made by number 41, Ed Robinson.
First quarter numbers looks like a lot of defense to me. Time of possession at the bottom, big in the favor of Alabama, but each team scored 1 touchdown.
Anderson and Lynch in the backfield, flanking Bergdorf. Has a look for Palmer, goes the other way. That is Anderson. And that's the first down as he goes to the Gator 42-yard line.
33, Chris Anderson.
Nice screen. The left tackle, Hammond, and Clay are both going to get out in front of Anderson. At Shields, 61 with a block, and a nice play and a nice pickup for Alabama.
First down, put it on the 42-yard line. Bergdorf now 6 out of 7 for 57 yards. And this is Sherman Williams. Taken down, and penalty flags all over the place. David Barnard made the tackle.
Man, personal foul. Just the defense. All right, first down, 15 yards.
Mac Gentry's in for a busy day.
97 is Barnard. Florida is the most penalized team in the SEC, as you see it right there. A severe yanking on the helmet. It all gets back to discipline. You've got to have discipline. You've got to play by the rules, and you can't go outside the line of the rules. And when you do that, you're going to be penalized.
I have no sound, so I don't know. I can't hear anybody, but I'll just try to call it for you. The ball is handed off. Fumble. Ball rolling around, and Florida dives after it, but Alabama people get there and keep it. Sherman Williams came scrambling back and finally got possession of it.
10 yards.
57, Carter, the defensive end, is going to knock this ball loose right there. several players are going to have an opportunity to recover it. There's one for Alabama. Another one for Florida, tries to pick it up in Harville. Number 60 finally gets it back for the Tide.
That's the second time now that Alabama's been able to cover a ball in dangerous area. And, you know, they're kind of gobbling up their law of averages here in the first half.
Yes, they are.
Bergdorf knocks it off to Anderson. And Anderson is knocked out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. They've scored a lot of points in these playoffs this season live, but at North Alabama, which is up at Florence, north of here, leading Texas A&M Kingsville by 2 points in the fourth quarter. The championship game in that division will be played in Florence next week. Ball is on the Florida 33-yard line, where it is 3rd down and 16. Bergdorf, the quarterback, working out of the shotgun. Up the middle he goes on a quarterback draw, and he is taken down by Ed Robinson, number 41, the linebacker. So Robinson stayed at home, took him down, and in comes the kicking team. That means Michael Proctor bringing a team.
The Gators last week, that quarterback draw would have been run by Charlie Ward. This week, Bergdorf not quite as quick.
Michael Proctor in to attempt the 45-yard field goal.
This is a big one, 45 yards. He's 5 out of 7 from this distance, so he's got plenty of leg on it. And he got it. At 12:02 to go in the first half. Alabama goes back to the lead, 10-7 on a 45-yard field goal. But Alabama leading 10-7 on the 40th career field goal by Michael Proctor. Watts gets his foot under this one and lifts it high. It's Jackson at the 5. To the 20 and the 21.
Number 1, Jack Jackson returns from...
Tomorrow here on ABC Sports, the top stars of the PGA and the Senior Tours team up for the best of the LPGA and the J.C. Penney Classic. After 3 rounds, Tom Seekman, Deborah Mahaffey are tied with Mike Springer and Melissa McNamara at 14 under. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern and 3 Central and Pacific here on ABC Sports. All right, Terry Dean, who talked some last week of transferring to another school, is in there at quarterback. Danny Werfel, arthroscopy after the Florida State game and is not playing today. Dean back to throw the ball. Goes deep down the middle. He's got Willie Jackson. It's intercepted. Ball was late getting there. Tommy Johnson with the interception. Alabama ball, Florida 40.
Ball was underthrown. If it would have been out there, he had a chance for a big play. Play action. 21 Donnelly is the free safety. They're trying to get behind him.
They did.
The receiver is behind him well. The ball would have been thrown to the left and downfield further. It would have been a completion. Nice protection. Just doesn't get it out there far enough, and he knows he's hanged it.
And Alabama's back down on the Florida 41-yard line, first down, with Bergdorf at quarterback. Pitches the ball to Anderson. He's got a problem. Coming back this way. And will lose back to about the 45-yard line. Good play by Monty Grove, number 10.
Stop on the play made by number 10, Monty Grove.
Negative plays. Ron Zook loves the negative plays. One of the reasons why Alabama's going to have trouble running is right here. Look at this. You have 8 defensive men right there in the box to try and stop. You cannot run against 8 people up there to stop the running. And Florida is going to have 8 guys up there, you can be sure.
It'll be second down and 23 now for Alabama. Bergdorf on a throw. And Chad Key can't reach it. So a former quarterback now playing wide receiver, lanky fellow, 6'4", 210, couldn't stretch enough for that one. Alabama's running game so far here in the first half 15 carries, 11 yards. We've got 10:46 to play in the first half.
Bergdorf had a face full of Barnard, the defensive lineman, on that play as he was throwing it. Turnovers is one thing that has cost Gene Stallings a couple of games this year. The latest one, the LSU game, they had 5 turnovers in the loss against LSU.
3rd and 23. Bergdorf got a man wide open. The pass is completed to Patrick Malone. But way short of a first down. So they'll be looking at 4th. And in comes the punter deal.
Thirteen-yard gain of the play. 4th and 10 at the 41.
Deal with a big day so far at 52.5 on his 2 kicks, and Cirola Palmer's had a big day returning them. He gets pretty good air under this one, though. Knocks it toward the corner and knocks it out of bounds in the Coffin corner. And the official's going to have to do some pretty good guessing on this one as he comes walking back and finally stops at the 6, where Florida will have it first down. Gower. Chris Bilke now is in the backfield at fullback for Florida, starting at the 6-yard line. Given to Rhett. And he's got a first down out near the 20. Now let's join Lynn Swan, who is with the young man who started last week's game at quarterback, Danny Werfel.
Thank you, Keith. Danny, from your perspective, what's happening to the offense out there?
It seems like both offenses have had a couple opportunities and missed a couple open receivers, and Eric just had the nice run. Hopefully we'll just start executing and clicking all the way around the board.
We're going to go back to play. We'll come right back.
All right.
Danny, of course, out. He had arthroscopy, as we told you earlier this week, and he possibly could be available for a bowl game. That's Red again in the middle, and he finds enough daylight to bolt for the 33 and another first down. So Eric Rett, the first player in Division 1A to run for 4,100 plus yards and to catch 140 plus passes. He's now at 41-19 and 151. So Eric Rett showing again, with his stats showing clearly, he is one of the premier running backs in the country. First down for the Gators up near the 34. Little misdirection there, the delay, and number 52, Michael Rogers, comes flying through the middle and decks him for a big loss, and let's go back to 20.
All right, Keith. Danny, I'm not asking you the second guess, but after the interception that Dean threw and the rain starting to come down, tell us what it's like to throw under these conditions.
It's not bad right now. You know, we played it a lot worse. You know, hopefully it won't come down harder here in the future. It might slow us down a little bit, but so far it hasn't been that bad.
Is your offense playing a little tense?
I haven't noticed that. You know, just everything's not quite clicking for us. You know, hopefully the good Lord will bless us. It'll come around.
Hope you heal up quick. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Put the ball on the 27-yard line now after the good play by Rogers. And Perry Dean throws to Rett. And Eric Rett will be tackled by 3. The Red Elephants short of a first down. Well short. They'll be looking at about 11 or 12 yards.
3rd and 10 for Florida at the 33.
I call it 10. About 10 and a half. We got 4 wideouts. Alabama comes flying across the line of scrimmage.
Everybody started to except the center. He didn't snap it.
Yep. That'll be the
Dead
6th
ball.
penalty.
Illegal procedure. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That oftentimes happens with a team that has just played a very emotional ball game, and certainly the Gators could not have been more emotional than they were at home last week.
Penalized 5 yards.
Against
Illegal
Florida State.
procedure. It's now 3rd and 15 at the Gators' 28-yard line.
Get Crouch had just come into the ball game.
That wasn't his fault, though. The left tackle, Green, jumped.
Yep, Reggie moved. Dean has good protection. Now lets it go big downfield for Harrison Houston, and he holds on for a first down for the Gators at the Alabama 37-yard line. Dean had a week to throw the ball.
Well, he did, Keith, and he needed a week because there was nobody open downfield. Only 3 men rushing, 8 men dropping back. Take a look at the coverage and see if you find anybody open. Houston's been right in the center of the screen. Not until he comes across the field does he have some time. Now he gets open, runs away from the double coverage, and because of only 3 men rushing, Dean bought some time and found an open receiver.
Somebody's mouthpiece would fly.
It sure did. I hope it was a mouthpiece.
Yeah. On first down, Dean back, getting some pressure, gets his pass away, bobbled, and finally caught by Charlie Dean, the tight end. But I think Charlie's going to lose about a yard on the play. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Alabama 10, Florida 7.
Play lost 1 yard.
The SEC championship game presented by Dr. Pepper. The winner goes to the USF&G Insurance. The loser goes to the Gator Bowl.
Take a look at Florida offensively. They lead in passing, but they're 9th in rushing, and they have thrown more interceptions than any other team in the SEC.
2nd and 11. Ball is batted down. Number 73, Nunley, jumps on the ball for Alabama.
Dean pass batted down at the line.
Looked like Damian Jeffries was the man that slapped it aside. And at the conclusion of today's ball game, we'll have the Chevrolet Players of the Game for you. The 23rd year that Chevrolet has participated in the scholarship program, $1,000
Third and 11
to
for
each
Florida at the Alabama
universities
38.
in the name of their MVP for the game. Houston wide to the bottom of your picture. 3rd and 11. Show blitz.
Come.
Passes away. Jack Jackson. He almost got that ball on the ricochet. It was almost picked off by Tommy Johnson for his 2nd of the day. But remember last week, it was Jackson who made that bouncing catch to get him back in the hunt against the Noles.
52, the linebacker, is Rogers. Rhett's going to try and block him, but Dean saw the blitz, knew he had to throw it quickly, and Johnson, number 10, reads it very well and could have had an interception, which would have been a touchdown.
4th and 11, and they'll go for it. The ball is at the Alabama 38-yard line. 7:19 to play. This could be a big play in the ball game. 4th and 11, and they're going for it.
Here they come.
They miss him. He got away. Levansky hauls after him. He gets away from Hall. He's got a first down. Big play by Terry Dean. Alabama had their shot at him, and they missed him.
Terry Dean goes around missing for the Florida first down.
And it's raining very hard right now.
A 16-yard gain of the play.
Well, you got a blitz right here, and when everybody blitzes, let's go ahead and run it. Go ahead and everybody blitzes. There's nobody downfield. Now stop it right here. Look at all this area. If he can just get out, he had a lot of room to run, and that's where he ran to.
And he got a first down at the 22-yard line. Dean again gets away from pressure. That ball is off the hands of Chris Bilkey, the fullback, who had drifted out into that short zone. And he just simply didn't catch the ball because it was right on his hand.
He's tired right now. After that long run on 4th down and 11, he is really sucking some air. You might consider taking the timeout to let him get his breath.
6:44 to play in the first half.
Or let him hand the ball off to somebody. Let somebody else do some work.
2nd down and 10. The ball at the Alabama 22. Tide leading 10-7. Dean will go down. Michael Rogers gets his 3rd tackle of the day.
That's Steve's fault. Spurrier, he shouldn't. He just ran 15, 20, 30, 40 yards to pick up that 4th down. Now he comes back, and you got to give him a little break. Remember last week when Charlie Ward ran around, called timeout? Give him a little chance to catch his breath, or just let him hand the ball off to Rhett to do something. But don't put the ball in his hand 3 or 4 times in a row.
Well, Rhett has just come out. They go to a 4 wideout alignment on 3rd down and about 18. And he's back there by himself. Here comes the pressure. They've got him again. They suck him back near the 39-40. Lemansky Hall gets this one.
Well, it's another blitz. The inside linebackers are going to do it to 52. Watch 52. That's Rogers. He blitzes from the left, and Lemansky Hall, number 11, is the other linebacker. Poor protection, no chance.
So it'll be 4th and about 25 now. And in comes Shane Edge. Or is it Davis? It is Davis. Judd Davis, the place kicker, who is the winner of the Groza Award. He edged Michael Proctor. And now Alabama will call a timeout. It will be a 54-yard try if they try it.
Yeah, this is nice. Like the seats. Lots of room, that's good. Whoa, lots of room back there, too. Right, smooth. Real smooth. Ah, they must have fixed this road.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Even when it's just barely a road at all.
Okay, thanks. Stereotypes. If I believed everything I heard, I wouldn't be where I am today. Pigeonholes were meant for birds, not people.
Jumping to conclusions, especially the wrong conclusions, can cost you. I'm astronaut Catherine Thornton. My Alabama education took me all the way to the stars. Think about it.
If you've already pigeonholed Alabama, it's time to take another look. Alabama, rethink the possibilities. Time once again for our Coors Light Fan Picks College Football Poll. The final regular season top 10 has Florida State back on top. And Bob and Keith, the wind is blowing into their face just a bit here. The rain's coming straight down, so it's going to be real tough on the punt. Or on the kick, rather.
State Edge will come in. They will punt. They will punt.
Number 2, David Palmer.
Edge trotted right out. No question about it when they reassessed the circumstance and saw the rain coming down. A 54-yard field goal try under those conditions would be terribly difficult. David Palmer is waiting for it for Alabama, standing back at the 10. What Edge will try to do is pooch it, get it high in the air and knuckle it and let it pop around. And that's the penalty against Florida. Number 41, Ed Robinson, the linebacker, up on the line of scrimmage on the kick coverage team. Broke loose and moved too soon. Gators have 7 penalties so far in the first half of the game.
Still got a hangover from last week. That loss to Florida State. The crucial loss that Alabama had to Auburn 2 weeks ago. They've had time to come out of that.
Actually, it gives Edge a little more room, though, to swing his leg because he's got plenty of length to knock it deep and knock it out. And he'll try to kill it in the corner. He got it high. He got about what he wanted. And Palmer fair catches at the 10-yard line. So Shane Edge does his job. Alabama will start first down at the 10. 5:08 to play in the first half. Alabama in the opening possession down for a touchdown. Florida finally put it in the end zone on a pass play to Houston. And then Alabama came back to take the lead on a 45-yard field goal from Michael Proctor. Florida in that possession had 12 plays and no points. Brian Steger is off the bench. The big freshman now is in there from Newmarket, Alabama. Let's see if they put it in his hands on this snap. Yes, they do. Penalty flag goes down. A linesman on the far side threw it. And it's going to be an Alabama penalty. I don't know that. Now, wait a minute. I'm seeing them pointing both ways. Well, I thought the linesman might have pointed to the red side, but it's called against Florida, so the Gators now have 8 penalties in the first half. Little stuff, but enough to blunt you. frustrating.
5 yards outside. First and 5 for Alabama.
So make it first down and 5 for the Tide as the ball comes out to the 15. Malone comes in for Alabama, number 80, at a flanker spot, and David Palmer leaves. And the rain is coming straight down. Kevin Lee is the man in motion. Now you got 2 wideouts over there. Pitch that ball to Stigert. And he'll pick up a yard, and that's all. Larry Kennedy made the tackle for Florida. Tomorrow night on ABC, 2 brand new movies. First at 7, 6 Central, Fred and Wilma becomes grandparents in a new full-length Flintstones movie, Holly Rockabye Baby. Then Mel Harris stars with John Schneider in Desperate Journey, the Allison Wilcox story, all tomorrow night on ABC. Ball is at the 16-yard line. It is 2nd down and 4. Chris Anderson is in at tailback now for the Tide. Anderson has it.
Number
2 yards short of the first down as Ellis Johnson and Anton Lott make the tackle. Well, North Alabama has won, beating Texas A&M at Kingsville in a good ball game, 27-25. Youngstown State beating Georgia Southern. Idaho and Boston University had its first ever 11-0 season, but they've got a tough customer in the Vandals of Idaho today.
Keith, you get rain like this, and it just makes it so much tougher for the offense.
Palmer's in there at quarterback, and he's belted out of bounds by Larry Kennedy, short of the first down. Let me ask you a question, Bob. Is it possible in what, 3 days of work, that's about what you've got between games, to put in something like a couple of wishbone plays?
Well, Alabama's had 2 weeks. They could put some stuff in. But Florida, they don't have enough time to do anything. All they need to do is prepare for Palmer.
Pretty good kick. Sorolla Palmer, though, has got room to run with it. And he got a huge hole. And the man who had the key to the door, the man that could have unlocked it and let him go all the way, slipped and fell and never had a chance to throw a block. And Alabama was able to get him out on the 35-yard line.
The coverage teams for Alabama have not done their job, but the punter is really out-kicking the coverage. All good blocks, nobody blocking from behind.
The man that fell down right there was the man that would have taken the 12.
The punter slows him up, makes the play.
3 times for 83 yards for Sorolla Palmer. So he is having a big day. Two minutes and 54 seconds to play in the first half. Dark, heavy clouds, rainstorm passing over. Been raining off and on all day long. That is the last Alabama timeout, with the Tide leading by a score of 10-7. I wouldn't think that this kind of rain, though, is really going to bother either one of these teams all that much, because they've both played in it. They've had their experiences in the rain, and they don't have mud.
It's not going to bother them, but it's just their proficiency on offense is going to go down. I mean, it just you just can't throw the ball, and it's tougher to hold on to it.
Coming up on the Prudential halftime report, John Saunders will take a look at some of the plays and the moments of the past season, and we'll have a look at the fiscal reality of this SEC championship game. What it's done for the city of Birmingham and what it's done so far for the Southeastern Conference and its membership. Put the ball on the 35 of Alabama. Make it first down, Florida. Alabama leading 10-7 with 2:54 to play in the half. Terry Dean hands the ball. Eric Rett. And he picks up 6 yards. He got away from Elbert Brown. And Eric Redd is a big guy at 5'10", and about 215. And it's raining very hard again. Second down and a long 3. Dean's pass, good to Jack Jackson for the first down. And Jackson is down at about the 21-yard line. Now with the clock stopping at 2:15 to play in the first half. Florida would like to go to the clubhouse leading if they can.
Terry Dean, excuse me, Keith. Terry Dean is requesting something. You saw him giving signals back. He says, let me run this play. Let me run that play.
Steve Spurrier does not want to debate. There's a coming, gets a pass away, going to the end zone, and lucky to get it back. Tommy Johnson had a better chance of catching it than Willie Jackson did. So it's an incomplete forward pass. If you're going to throw it away, you better throw it away more efficiently than that.
When he had to release it, he didn't know which angle the receiver was going to come out of, and when you're that and you don't have a lot of sideline to throw, you better throw it long and out of bounds. Because the defensive man had a better shot at that ball.
Second down and 10. Up the middle, Rhett runs right through the surging defenders and takes the ball down to the 15-yard line.
Eric Rhett is close to breaking one of these. He is chomping at the bit.
The Alabama 15.
He is the all-time leading rusher at the University of Florida. And in the conference combined, he is second only to Herschel Walker in yards receiving and rushing.
Hard rain again. Dean back, throws. Ball caught by Willie Jackson, and he got away. He got away from Gaston. Willie Gaston had his hands on him, and he just simply slid away from him. And it's first and goal, Florida. The ball is inside the 3, close to the 2. And it's just absolutely pouring buckets.
First and goal for Florida with the ball inside the Alabama 3-yard line.
Again, Keith, they're working over on that side where Antonio Langham would have been. Willie Gaston filling in.
Dean keeps it, turns it, and scores. Touchdown, Florida. So the Gators stick it in the end zone at 1:10 to play in the first half. It will go in the books as a 2-yard touchdown run by Terry Dean.
Makes a little toss. Nice blocking there by Houston. And he runs over Johnson, the last defender. He'll talk about that for a long time. Dean, the quarterback, running over a defensive back for a touchdown.
Judd Davis, the point. Edge, the punter holds, and Harold Monk does the snapping. And it works. And so the Florida Gators go to the lead at 14-10 with 1:10 to play in the first half.
He needs some oxygen right there. He said, where's the oxygen?
He's still trying to get over that long run.
He may be looking for a replacement for a substitute. He says, where's Danny Werfel?
Eric Kresser is the backup. He's a redshirt freshman. It's possible that Werfel could regain use of the leg sufficiently to play in a bowl game. I don't know. It's a month away.
Number 14.
Winner goes to the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl, and the loser goes to the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. Of course, they're still euphoric in Jacksonville over having been awarded the NFL franchise last week. David Palmer and Chris Anderson are the deep people now for Alabama, and Florida's Shane Edge will kick it off. Ball handled by Anderson, Chris Anderson, a tailback. And he brings it out across the 25-yard line.
10-yard line.
So with 1:02 to work with, Alabama no timeouts remaining.
Stop on the play made by number 36, Kevin.
Bergdorf comes out to quarterback it.
The 15-yard return, 1st and 10 Alabama at the time 25.
Palmer goes into a slot position or a wide-out position. And they run it with Chris Anderson.
Anderson at left guard.
And Anderson will move it up to about the 32. That's a 7, close to an 8-yard pickup. And the clock running now.
7-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 3.
The linebacker Robinson and Shields, 61, the center. Helmet jumps off. That's when you know you've been blocked, is when the center gets up around your shoulders and your helmet. Nice block by the center, Shields.
2nd down and short 3. That should have been picked off, but two Gators knocking away from each other. Larry Kennedy had his hand on it. I think Gilmore got involved with it, and nobody caught it.
That was an awful throw. I mean, there were 6 orange helmets around. I don't know what the play was or what Bergdorf had in mind.
Well, watch him, boy. He's just going to push it. He loses control of it.
It may have been deflected, or it may have slipped out of his hand. But where it ended up was an enemy territory.
Ellis Johnson wasn't helping it in either.
No, he wasn't.
He was all over. Bergdorf. Bergdorf runs for the 1st down. Picks it up at about the 38-yard line, and Monty Grove makes another tackle. And they'll move the chain, stopping the clock with 13 seconds remaining.
A 6-yard gain on the play. First and 10 Alabama at the tie 38.
Dark, heavy clouds, lights. If we didn't have lights, we'd have to call the game. 1st down, Bergdorf looking around. Going to run with it. Won't go very far. Got up to the 45-yard line. And that'll do it. Halftime score, Florida 14, Alabama 10. Now here's a message from Chevrolet on this year's Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. And as we told you, the winner of this ball game, there's Matt Hammond right there, will go off the current Sugar Bowl game as the SEC champion. The loser will go to the Gator Bowl. Tomorrow, the coalition will get together one more time and will come up with their final poll, and that will determine which team will go to the Cotton Bowl and which team will go to the Sugar Bowl to play the SEC champion. Here's the kickoff. High hanger that goes 5-6 yards back into the end zone, and Harrison Houston will bring it out to the 20. Now here's Lynn Swank.
Keith, at halftime, I talked with Steve Spurrier, and he seemed very calm and casual about the number of penalties this team had. He said, the SEC always gives us a lot of penalties. He believes that Rhett's running the ball very well, so look for him to continue to give the ball to Rhett to try and control this game offensively on the ground.
This is Spurrier's 4th year at Florida in the SEC. He was formerly at Duke in the ACC. Maybe that's what he was referring to, that this conference calls more penalties. I'm sure that's what it was.
This is Eric Rhett carrying the ball to the line of scrimmage, and there he comes to a squeaking Garden Gate stop. Boy, I mean, there was no give on that surge.
The leaders in the 1st half for Florida offensively, Terry Dean was 9 of 18, 117. He had a touchdown and an interception. Rhett had 50 yards rushing, which was much better than last week, and Houston had 2 and a touchdown. But possessions, they had 6 possessions. They scored on their last possession. Anytime they had good field position, they scored a touchdown.
Dean to throw it. Throws it, bounces it. Incomplete forward pass. It'll be 3rd down. On that first carry, Eric Rhett actually lost about a yard. So Houston could not come back to that pass that was thrown too low. And the Florida running game is still struggling a bit.
It is still struggling, and their passing game is struggling. It's intermittent. It's inconsistent because of the defensive scheme that Alabama's throwing at them.
They got a couple of guys wide at the bottom of the picture, and that puts Willie Gaston in man coverage.
There's 10 of them up there now.
They roll it to this side, and the pass is thrown, and it's thrown to Jack Jackson, who had the man coverage from Willie Gaston. But by the time Dean delivered the ball, there were all kind of Alabama people around the play, and nothing came from it. The pass was completed for a couple of yards.
This is the same Alabama defensive style that shut Miami out last year in the Sugar Bowl. The same style, Bill Oliver, the coordinator, different players, but doing an efficient job.
David Palmer is now waiting for Shane Edge, first punt of the second half, and Edge had a pretty good front half. 14-10, Florida leading as we start the third quarter. That's a good kick. Got a lot of spin on it. Palmer bobbles at the 25, slips away up the sideline. Oh, he's a dandy. All the way back to the Florida 47-yard line. Shane Edge brought him down. It's a 53-yard punt.
He is smooth, isn't he? He's like silk. He just slides along. David Palmer in the first half had a total yardage of 86 yards, and he was 2 of 2 passing for another 24 yards. So expect more from Mr. Palmer in the second half.
And that was a 28-yard return right there. You've got Anderson and Lynch in the backfield now, and Palmer goes to the wideout, top of the picture. Bergdorf, the quarterback, pitch it to Anderson. He might want to throw it. No, he hands it away to Palmer, coming around on the reverse. They had a hold of him, but it got away. Drops the ball. Florida has a handle. Ball goes out of bounds. Alabama keeps it. My goodness.
There is no handle on that ball.
Well, you get it on the sideline. We told you early on now, all the water runs off to the sideline and it gets very wet over there.
Forward Alabama. Here's a look at near the end of that when he fumbled the ball trying to keep his balance. Looks like he may have something right here, but the ball was knocked loose. It looked like it was Lott, number 9, that may have knocked the ball loose.
And the rain's starting to fall again.
Possession stays with the team that had possession of it last.
44-yard line now. 2nd down and 7. This is Anderson. And Anderson is about a yard or so short of his first down as he gets to the 39 of Florida.
For the Crimson Tide in the first half, Bergdorf throwing the ball 8 of 11 with 74 yards. Not much rushing and receiving. Palmer led the receivers with 3. They had 6 possessions. They scored on their first possession and then punted 4 of the next 5. The last possession was right before the half. Really wasn't much.
3rd down and a short 2, and Anderson is the single back. Bergdorf keeps it. Can't get around the corner. He does not have the foot speed to outrun people like Monty Grove, and now Alabama's going to have to punt the ball. Palmer might have got away with that, but not Bergdorf.
Well, again, Florida 8-man front, expecting him to run, and with this type of weather, it's going to be very tough for the offenses to do much.
Sorolla Palmer is back there. 3 returns, total of 83 yards. Brian Deal kick. And not too good. Be the 25-yard line.
16-yard punt.
On December 10th, the battle begins.
It's raining right now. That's why that ball is slippery and people are having trouble standing some places on the field, even though it is an artificial surface. Boy, a 16-yard punt by Brian Deal has given Florida very good field position. That little short pass is thrown complete to Willie Jackson, and Willie's out to the 38-yard line, and suddenly the Gators are moving it. That's the first down.
Throwing on Willie Gaston, who is subbing at that corner position for Antonio Langham again, who was suspended for this game. Just a short pass and a long run. Picks up a first down.
Harry Dean going all the way since Danny Werfel has had knee arthroscopy on a knee. This is Eric Rep. And that's good, solid coverage by Sam Shade. He just came over and laid the pad on him. Love that name. All he needs is a black hat and a trench coat, a pair of shine shoes.
Look at Spurrier on the sideline. He is not only the head coach, but the offensive coordinator, calls the plays. Will either send them in with a messenger or signal them in.
Second down, call it 10. Continues to rain hard. Dean back. Steps up, throws the short pass to tight end Charlie Dean. Charlie's taken down rather emphatically. Chris Donnelly, 180-pounder, came up and laid a pretty good lick on that 240-pounder. It'll be third down and about 5 for Florida. Ball up at the 43 on their side of the field. Florida leads Alabama 14-10. Pitch that ball to Rep. Trying to sweep it. Good coverage for the Tide. Penalty flag by the referee. Willie Gaston gets the call on the tackle, number 22. So Willie hustling to that side of the field. Holding Florida. Well, they decline it. They put him in a fourth down, make him kick. Gaston has 7 tackles, but he's been burned a couple of times. Donnelly has 8 tackles. Now, Donnelly is playing at the free safety position and Gaston at the corner. Gaston has the tackles because they're picking on him. Donnelly is making tackles because there have been a couple of times he's been the last line of defense.
That's true.
Shane Edge with a long of 53 today. Palmer's back on the 20, waiting for the kick. When Shane Edge really gets his foot on it and twists it, he can just knock it out of the county. But he hasn't hit one. He didn't do it last week either. Penalty flag, and well, there's 3 seconds left on the snap clock. So somebody must have moved.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, offense, 5 yards, 4th down.
Dadgummit, he said. That's about what he'd say, too.
You know, he's a laid-back type of guy. He's not a high-pressure guy, and his team, I think, reflects his attitude and his mood. And I think they need to be a little bit more aware of what the penalties are and a little bit more discipline in those areas.
That's a low liner to Palmer. Drops it. And then they drop him at about the 27-yard line with a crowd of 76,345 watching at Legion Field in Birmingham. Ball at the 27-yard line, first down. Florida leads 14-10. David Palmer is your quarterback. Rain's let up a bit right now. Palmer fakes the pitch. Slides around a bit and then takes off. And he gets it up to the 37-yard line. That's very close to a first down. Now let's go to Lynn Swann.
Keith, I'm with Antonio Langdon. Antonio, we can all imagine how you feel, but can you express to us how you feel about not being able to play this game today?
I mean, deep down inside, it hurts real bad because I've been a part of this university and a part of that team, and I've been playing with a lot of those guys for 4 years now, and it really hurts a lot inside. But it's a part of life, and it's something that happened, and God probably felt that it was time that I've been having a lot of success that I felt I faced some complicated situations and see if I could be a man and overcome adversity and continue to move on.
Now, I asked you about what transpired. You don't want to talk about that. Can you tell us what your immediate plans will be?
as of right now, I continue to stay in school, and I'm supposed to graduate in May, so I continue to go to school, and hopefully I'll get my degree in May, and I'll plan for hopefully a future in the NFL. If not, then I'll get my degree, and I'll try to find me a job so I can be successful.
Okay, Antonio, thank you very much. We wish you the best.
Thank you.
Second down and 11 from the 36-yard line. Palmer back, looking around, looking around, looking around. Better do something. Going to take off. And he'll get it up to the 40. And he is taken down by Anton Lott. And he'll be looking at third down and about 8. He had all day to look around, and it was very good coverage.
What Florida is trying to do is just contain him when he is at quarterback, keep him in the pocket, make him throw from in the pocket, throw out of that hole, so to speak. For those of you who are not aware, Palmer was a quarterback in high school, and there's a look at Bergdorf as he watches this series on the sideline. But Birmingham High School, he played quarterback right here in Birmingham.
Throws the ball, and it is incomplete. And the ball is slapped away from Sherman Williams by number 44, Ed Robinson. Not at the moment with Lynn.
Well, Keith, Antonio Gaston obviously was suspended because he signed with an agent before his college eligibility was up. I asked Antonio Langdon, I asked him about that. He said, at this moment, I don't really want to talk about it because it's hard for me. I just don't want to deal with it publicly, but I'll address it later on.
Yeah, well, what's done is done, I guess. Here's the kick by Dio. Palmer at the 20. One had him, and finally they take him down at about the 28-yard line. It is kind of interesting that there is an agent's authority law in the state of Alabama. You're going to do business as an agent, you have to register. You might hear more about that in time to come. Sweet things awaiting down yonder in Newlands.
Oh, cube of sugar on the field there.
Alabama is trailing Florida 14-10. They go to the defensive side of the ball, and here come the Gators now. And Lemansky Hall is right there as Eric Rett gets the ball from Terry Dean.
That is a big piece of the motivation for the Gators is the Sugar Bowl. They have been there 3 times, have never won the Sugar Bowl. They say we'd much rather go to Bourbon Street than go back to Jacksonville and the Gator Bowl. They were there last year. They play in the Gator Bowl once every year against Georgia, and it's almost like a home game for them. Much rather go to New Orleans.
On second down, the blitz. Dean lets it go onto the blitz, and it is incomplete, but at least he didn't take a sack on the play. So it'll be third down and a long 9, about 9.5 yards.
They continue to put pressure on Terry Dean. Go back and take a look at the game story.
Third and 9 at the 29.
For Florida, we told you they needed to get Eric Rett back in the offense, back involved. 51 rushing yards in the first half, 6 yards receiving, and Alabama needed to be effective in the passing game. They have 98 yards passing. That's not very good, but it's a lot more than they're rushing for.
I think Dean's playing a pretty good ball game. Long pass intercepted by Tommy Johnson, his second of the day. He picked it at the 46-yard line, and there's a penalty flag way back up the field here. So let's see about it. Mac Gentry, the referee. If it's on Florida, Alabama will surely keep the ball. It's Florida. Alabama ball.
Always pressure, always a linebacker coming. They always want to get some pressure. The receiver's going to go right down and break to the outside. The man on the outside is just going to drop back and make the interception. The corner to the top of the screen, sees the route, plays the ball. That's Johnson doing a very nice job. Here's a look at it up close. Johnson, number 10.
And Palmer's at quarterback. Got some field position, trying to make something happen. Bumps it, lets it go. Incomplete. Alabama man Todrick Malone fell down. Larry Kennedy on the coverage, and it'll be second down and 10.
It's not surprising that Alabama, with Palmer at quarterback, finally goes deep. And they went deep when it was a time when the rain had slowed a little bit. The weather is not so bad right now, but when Palmer's in there, they don't expect to throw long. When Bergdorf is there, they expect more passing.
Anderson, tailback. Palmer still got it. Throws it down the middle. Good to Chad Key. And Key will make it an Alabama first down at the Florida 36.
Chad Key is an ex-quarterback. He is 6'4" and a huge target. It's his 17th reception of the year. He is in at wide receiver because Palmer is at quarterback.
Number 1, Marcel West is in as a wideout. He's a speed burner. Out of the shotgun now. They're after Palmer. He runs around. He is so quick. Down to the 25-yard line and a first down.
Palmer's going to get out of this. Number 67, Campbell, to the left side of the screen, is going to come right there. Thought he had him contained in the pocket. Now he just runs around. Gaines is 94. Johnson is 61. They can't catch him.
Poor old William Gaines just flat wore him about a pair of shoes chasing Charlie Ward last week, and he's out there trying to hunt down David Palmer today. Malone, the man in motion. Palmer gives the ball to Anderson, and Anderson will turn it down to about the 21-yard line to pick up for 4 yards. Palmer in the game has 41 yards running and 41 yards passing.
The thing that Palmer gives you at quarterback certainly is not a great passer by any means, but it's unpredictability. You don't know what they're going to do, and they've done just about everything, from the option to sprinting him out to having him just run with the ball to have him drop back in the pocket and throw a long pass.
Second down, 6. Reverse it. Kevin Lee shakes off a would-be tackler. Now he is surrounded and will go down. Ball popped out, but the play was over. Brown can't cause a fumble. I wanted to say that one more time. Monday night, ABC Sports heads to Texas, an NFC East ball game featuring the Dallas Cowboys. Troy Aikman healthy again. The defending Super Bowl champions against old rival Philadelphia. Emmitt Smith healthy again. Cowboys looking pretty good. That's live, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football.
You think that hasn't been a long 10 or 11 days for the Cowboys since that Dolphin fiasco? And,
yes, sir. They are getting people healthy again, though. That's Palmer steps away from 1, away from 2. I'm telling you, he is slick. He lunges to the 15-yard line, and he is very close to a first down, and I think they greased him. I'm telling you, he is something.
He's 5'9", 170 pounds. That's Johnson. He misses. They had a chance to get him again, but he just wore it out. Gaines was going the other way and missed him again.
Oh, William, look at him. He just worn to enough.
Oh, we shouldn't laugh.
No, he's tired.
I guarantee you all the players are happy that they're measuring right now because they're getting a chance to catch their breath.
Let's get a comment from Swanee.
Hey, Keith and Bob, I got to tell you, with Palmer running around so much, that offensive line needs a rest. Both Patterson and Hammond are being substituted for liberally throughout this ball game because they've got to do a lot more scrambling to get those blocks.
Well, they're going to go on 4th down and half a yard. Palmer takes it. He's got it. It will be a first down at the Florida 14-yard line for Alabama. Florida is leading 14-10. This is Alabama's first threat since really way back.
Scored with their first possession of the game. They kicked a field goal on their fourth possession and then really have not done anything but punt the ball since then.
Now they feel like they've got a little momentum going. Gators trying to dig in. Ball is given to Williams. And Sherman Williams is out of bounds at the 10-yard line. That's a pickup of 4 yards, second down, 6. 3:07 to play, third quarter, and the Gator is down.
Looks like number 9,
yes.
Lott. Yeah.
Anton Lott. He had an interception last week in the ball game against the Seminoles.
Get downfield somewhere.
Second down and 6 from the 10. Pitch it to Williams. Make the reverse. Williams looking for a little help. Gets a yard. And you get to running sideways and fiddling around down in that neck of the woods. You're not going to be very successful, I don't think, unless you're exceptional like a Palmer.
This Gator defense has really been tough the last half of the season.
They need a touchdown for the lead, too. Field goal, you know, it's 3. It's a 14-10 lead.
How would you like to have the defense, Charlie Ward last week, now contain David Palmer?
Pretty good challenge.
Draw.
Nothing there. Nothing there. Ben Hanks knocked him out of bounds. So it's fourth down and about 4. And they'll go for 3. So they're not going to get the lead here. Michael Proctor will try the field goal. And they will put it down just behind the 15. So that'll be about a 25-yard field goal try for Proctor. And it's good. Good from 45 and now good from 25. And with 2:14 to play in the third quarter, it is now Florida 14, Alabama 13. And the Gators now will try to cinch up their offensive belt and come out here and get some more points. Tonight over in Tokyo, Michigan State is getting all jacked up trying to spoil the party for the Wisconsin Badgers. They're over there to play their season finale. An agreement to this game in Tokyo made 2 years ago by Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin's home game. George Perlis, he was the one really that triggered the whole thing and made it happen. Barry Alvarez on the right there. If Wisconsin wins tonight, they go to the Rose Bowl. Michigan State is going to the Liberty Bowl regardless. If Wisconsin loses, then Ohio State goes to the Rose Bowl.
Right. Both teams fly over on the same plane?
I hope not.
I think they did.
I mean, going over might be all right.
They did.
But coming back might be a
Yeah,
mess.
that's right. Going over might be a lot friendlier than coming back.
All right. Harrison Houston and Jack Jackson are the deep people for the Florida Gators. And William Watts will kick it off for Alabama. Florida's had 9 penalties, 2 interceptions, and just missed recovering 4 Alabama fumbles. And Harrison Houston watching that ball, thinking it might go out short of the goal line, and they'd get it on the 35. It didn't. It went out behind the goal line, and they'll get it at the 20. And Terry Dean will come out. He's played the whole ball game, obviously, because of the injury to Danny Werfel, but he's done a fairly good job, I think.
He's been a little bit inconsistent. He's thrown a couple of passes, had 2 interceptions, and thrown a couple other poor passes, but he's got him on the board. He's got him lead and hit.
Playing most of the ball game in the rain. Ball is thrown to Willie Jackson, and Willie's taken out of bounds just short of the 25 by Willie Gaston. Last time those two were bumping heads over there, Jackson got away from Gaston, but Willie handled him this time.
Second and 6.
Second down and 6. got it. Very good protection. Throws short to Eric Rhett. Miss him, and Rhett's going to pick up the first down. Lemansky Hall couldn't get him. He just juked him a little bit, slipped away from him, and picked up a first down for Florida. You were looking at basketball scores there. I'll give you one from last night. Southern California women 80, Richmond 59. The Lady Trojans are now 2-0. And a former colleague of ours, Cheryl Miller, got them off and running. Congratulations, Cheryl. Way to go, gal.
Yes, sir.
Minute 45 to play in the third quarter. First down for the Gators, 34-yard line. That's Rhett. And he'll get a yard or so.
Left tackle, now made by number 52, Michael Rogers.
Michael Rogers had a pretty good day at that inside linebacker position for Alabama. 14-13 ball game. Florida by 1.
Alabama defense has not allowed over 300 yards passing in 47 straight regular season games. Florida's 93 average is 345 yards. They have 152 yards passing today. So Alabama winning this battle.
Gators spend a timeout. Rhett in this half has 5 carries, and he has 2 yards. 1:05 to play, third quarter.
Panasonic presents a unique and highly evolved smooth operator. The new Smooth Operator 2 with float control is the only razor to unite the comfort.
Will Brown and Andre Royal suspended, and the loss of Langham. And that's quite a toll, and the Tide shows blitz. And Dean gets it away, and it's over the head of Willie Jackson, incomplete. There was a delightful quote earlier this week. Somebody was talking to Gene at his press conference about all of the problems that have been going on and about being this psychological underdog on Monday. And he said, wait a minute, the game's going to be played on Saturday, isn't it? That took care of that. And then they kept asking him questions about the people. And he said, look, there are a lot of things that I'm not sure about, but I am sure of that. That I'm not sure about.
All right.
Third down and 8.
There he comes.
Pressure coming, and they just drill it. Is he going to get up? Nunley. He's going to get up very slowly. Jeremy Nunley just clobbered him. 279 pounds. And folks, I want to tell you, old Terry Dean has got some gizzard.
The guys on the outside, they're just confusing the offensive blocking, and he has to get rid of it quickly. They're blitzing him consistently, and it looks like it's the Sugar Bowl last year when Miami was confused. Bill Oliver, the coordinator, you take players away from him through injury or suspensions, he put other players in, and the system continues.
All right, Shane Edge to punt. You can see his shirt blowing. There's some wind down there. Pressure coming. They chase him out of there. He's going to take off and pick up a first down. Pretty good size play there, folks. They go from flush on the punt to the 44-yard line of Alabama and a first down. They were going after him, got everybody inside, and opened up the outside.
A play like this can really turn your team around. All he has to beat is a contain man right there, number 26. He breaks containment, and 20 yards later, picks up a first down. The offense is back on the field.
And the ball to no, kept it. Throws it deep. It is for Jack Jackson. Touchdown, Florida. Great call. Had Alabama on the heels after breaking out on 4th down and throws it deep, and Jackson runs it down.
Shot of Spurrier, please.
Judd Davis for the point. Boy, was that a big play in this game. Point is good. at 28 seconds to play in the third quarter.
You mentioned
21-13.
You mentioned a great call, Keith. That man right there, credit Spurrier. Bill Oliver, the defensive coordinator, has been getting the best of him. He finally gets a play from his special team. The punter runs for a first down. Let's go for it right away. Play action. The pass we had open earlier in the game. Let's try it again. This time, he is on target with it. Terry Dean puts it right there. Inconsistent, but yet makes the big plays right there.
Heading toward the final 15 minutes. And it's an 8-point lead now for the Gators.
Terry Dean was talking earlier this week maybe about not being back next year, Keith, maybe transfer. He says, I've sat out a bunch of games this year. I don't know if I can do that again next year. And that's a decision that young man's going to have to make. He was talking about, I think, going to a Division 1 AA school where he'd be eligible right away, right?
Yep. Or even 2, for that matter. The ball was not touched. Will go through the end zone. Will come out to the 20. There, Alabama will have it. First down. Anderson did not touch the ball, so it comes out to the 20. First down. Let's pause 5 seconds right here so our ABC stations can tell you who they are. Keith Jackson, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan. You're watching the SEC Championship game presented by Dr. Pepper on ABC Sports. Winner goes to the USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl. Loser goes to the Gator Bowl. And right now, Florida is sitting on a 21-13 lead over Alabama. And David Palmer settles in at quarterback again, and there's a penalty. Flag thrown. Looked like one of those things where somebody was moving along the offensive front. That was the 11th penalty against Alabama. The 11th Jack Jackson touchdown of the season. He's now one behind the record holder in Florida, Carlos Alvarez, and that goes all the way back to 1969.
To look at the drive, 7 plays, 80 yards, but that was a continuation of the key 4th down conversion by the punter, Shane Edge.
So it is first down and 15 now for Alabama. They need to make something happen pretty quick here. Otherwise, that hole will get pretty deep. Palmer throws it as far as he can, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Gilmore. Michael Gilmore. And so Florida now is camped at their own 46-yard line, leading 21-13, and 21 ticks remaining in the third quarter.
As talented as this young man is, the things that he does are limited. You know that he's going to either run the ball or throw it deep. You're not going to throw it short very often. This time the ball is poorly thrown. It's thrown to the inside of the field. The free safety, Gilmore, gets over and makes his 3rd interception of the year.
Eric Rett. Gang tackle. Penalty flag thrown. Came out of the referee's pocket. Got a hold against the Gators. So they hurt themselves with the 10-yard penalty right here. Palmer chagrined on the sideline.
And again, we should go back and mention the fact, the reason he's even playing quarterback is the fact that Jay Barker, the quarterback for the last 2 years at Alabama, who has a record of, 23-1 and 1 tie as a quarterback, is out for the rest of the year with a knee injury, and that's why the quarterback situation is what it is at Alabama. Ron Zook, the defensive coordinator, knows that when Palmer's at quarterback, we don't need to rush him, just contain him, keep him inside in the perimeter.
It is first down and 20, and Terry Dean comes walking away from the ball as we run out of time in the third quarter of play. Florida 21, Alabama 13. Back after this message and the word from our ABC station. Here we go to the final quarter. Gators 21, Alabama 13. Defending champions got a major problem. Gators ball first down at the 35-yard line. Terry Dean with Eric Rett behind him. Lets it go quickly to the sidelines. Willie Jackson shoved out of bounds by Sam Shade.
Complete to number 22, Willie Jackson. Jackson run out of bounds by number 31, Sam Shade, after a 4-yard gain to the 39.
They've got to go, remember now, the penalty plus the loss. They've got to go to the 44-yard line to get themselves a first down. That's on the other side of the field.
17 at the 39.
Terry Dean is 16 out of 30 now at 199 yards. A couple of touchdowns and a couple of interceptions. Second down and about 17. Penalty flag. Got a hold coming up. Number 76 of Alabama was taken down. Elbert Brown, just as pretty as you ever saw.
They gain 1 yard.
And the Gator coach is upset by that. It happened right in front of Mac Gentry, the referee.
Holding, offense, 10 yards for small foul, for a second down.
11 penalties, 80 yards.
Through 3 quarters, Florida has 270 yards total yardage and 195 for Alabama. Big time of possession still in favor of Alabama, but that's not what counts.
Second down and 31 for Florida. Going the wrong way. Dean's got a man, though, that can cure that problem, and he does just that quickly. Willie Jackson, he got loose, and Donnelly is hurt on the play. Chris Donnelly is down.
Number 22, Willie Jackson.
Let's go back and take a look. 4 receivers, 2 on this side, 2 over here. You really spread them out. This man is just going to go straight down the inside of the field, and a great throw this time by Terry Dean. Lets it go at a nice time. Nice completion.
Again, that's that same neighborhood where Antonio Langham has been working, and the Florida's been throwing the ball there all day long.
Yeah, they call this 4 deep. You spread them straight 4 across the field, and 4 guys go deep, straight down the field, and usually one of the 2 inside men are going to get the football.
Donnelly's walking off now. May have just been whacked pretty hard there. He has 9 tackles to lead Alabama in the tackles department today. So with 13:40 to play in the game, the ball rests at the 44-yard line of Alabama. First down for the Florida Gators. They lead 21-13, trying to win their second official SEC title. Eric Rett has a room up the middle. And a fair-to-middle collision as he runs into Sam Shade and company. But he advances the ball to the 36-yard line. Pick up of 8 yards. This senior class at the University of Florida football program has done pretty well. You can see their history there. Really outstanding. Donnelly comes back onto the field now, defensively for Alabama. And time is called by Florida at 12:53 to play. Congratulations, partner.
Yes, sir.
Pass is away. Jackson's down there. Tommy Johnson, good play. Johnson was burned on the Florida touchdown a little while ago. He has 2 interceptions on the day and made a fine defensive play there.
Well, as you call it, Keith, good defensive play. This kid Johnson's going to be a good corner. He's got 2 interceptions today. Got burned for the touchdown, and good play. You're out there on the edge when you're a corner. Terry Dean, who has been a little inconsistent, has thrown some poor balls, but has also thrown some excellent passes to get him on the board.
3rd down and 2. Little quick pop, that's good for a first down, goes to Jack Jackson. So Dean came off the snap and just popped it right now to an open Jackson in over there on the side where Willie Gaston's going to make the play. Well, Willie knew he was going to get picked on all day. Everybody in the world knew it. Willie was going to get picked on all day because he's not playing his position. Put the ball on the 27-yard line and make it a first down for Florida. Score here would be a big old Doris memory. Oh, there's a play by Nunley, forcing Dean to scramble, and he throws it high and out of bounds, intended for Willie Jackson, incomplete. Jeremy Nunley, who's had a lot of trouble with injuries, getting that play.
Nunley came in with 10 sacks on the year, missed some time, hurt a knee last week. They had an off week after the Auburn loss and hurt his knee, but is playing well today. You see that right knee is wrapped. He leads the team in sacks, and he's number 3 in the team in tackles.
2nd down and 10. Here's your reverse. Chris Doering throws the ball. Terry Dean has it. Dean takes off to the sidelines and picks up a Gator first down at the 12-yard line. So the Gators go to some trick stuff, and it works. Chris Doering, who plays at a tight end position, but he's not big enough to be a tight end, comes around on that reverse, throws the pass back to his quarterback.
Spurrier has called a few quick counts, quick snaps, because trying to catch Alabama defensively when they weren't ready, and that was one of them.
It's first down. All on the Alabama 12-yard line. 8-point lead for the Gators, 21-13. Dean stands up, lets it go to Willie Jackson. Willie is out of bounds, and a penalty flag thrown as he goes out of bounds at about the 5. He was over there with Tommy Johnson. I don't know, he might have an inadvertent face mask there.
I think you got it right, Keith. I think Johnson got his hand up on the face mask.
Face mask, defense, half a distance from the end of the run, it's a 5-yard foul.
Little quick hitch, Willie Jackson.
First goal for Florida.
Right there. You don't actually have to have the hand on the face mask. Any part of the helmet where you're twisting and turning will get the flag.
Time held here for a second by the referee Gentry. That last time out we had a little while ago, that was charged to Alabama. So they're both at 2-2 in their times out. The ball now going half the distance to the goal line is at the 2. And they'll bring the chains on to see whether or not that is a first down.
Keith, it seems, as you take a look at this measurement's going to be just short. It seems like the Gator offense has just worn down the defense of Alabama, and partly that is the problem of the Alabama offense. They have not done anything with the football in the second half to keep their defense off the field.
It's 2nd down and the width of your hand for a 1st and goal. Eric Rett walks in. Touchdown, Gators.
Florida 27, Alabama 13, with 11 minutes, 59 seconds remaining to play the ball game.
Watch the guard, Golden. That's 62. He's going to pull. The fullback doesn't even have to block the corner. It's almost as if the Alabama guys gave up. They didn't even have to be blocked.
Judd Davis for the extra point. Good.
It's good.
The 1993 Gators, now the highest scoring team in SEC history. In case you wondered about the last remark, the 93 Gators, the highest scoring team in SEC history. They have 472 points on the season total, passing Tennessee and Heath Schuler this year for 471. This is Chris Anderson. Whoa, now there's a hometown first-class lick, folks, I'll tell you. Number 36, Kevin Freeman, came down and laid one on him. Tomorrow here on ABC Sports, the top stars from the PGA and Senior Tours team up for the best of the LPGA in the J.C. Penney Classic. After 3 rounds, Mike Springer and Melissa McNamara, Tom Siegman and Deborah Mahaffey, they are tied at 14 under. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern and 3 Central and Pacific here on ABC. Palmer is back in there at quarterback. Blocked as he threw it. 2nd down and 10.
Smothered by Barnard, number 97, who has played well all day. To look at the coalition poll, this is the poll by the combination of the AP and the coaches poll. The only thing left to be decided in this group is will Florida at number 10, by virtue of winning here today, move up ahead of Texas A&M at number 7 to change the choice of the selection. That's what the voters must decide after this game.
Sugar Bowl was the one that held firm and said we're not going to do anything until we have the final poll. Palmer now needs a little help. And there's a penalty flag. He had a block in the back. And whatever happens is going to come back. Alabama is going to be penalized. Kevin Carter was hit in the back by number 77, Patterson. And Roosevelt got up protesting the call, but there wasn't much question about it. Carter had his back to it.
Against the offense.
Here's a look at the clip right here. Watch number 77 as he's going to hit Carter in the back. Now, if you want to know where the clip is, this is it. Hitting a man from behind, right there.
And it happened right in front of the referee.
And that's a spot foul. You take it from where it happened. It happened about 20 yards behind the original line of scrimmage.
Yes, it winds up a 28-yard penalty.
Yeah.
2nd and 38 for Alabama. It's a tie score.
I tell you what, there's been some talk. There's always talk. You've got sports talk shows all over the country, and they talk about everything in the world, including how high the bread's going to rise. Palmer finally throws the ball, and there's a great catch there by Malone, and it'll get the ball out to about the 12-yard line. But the subject came up the other day about Gene Stallers getting a little bit sick and tired of all of this, and he just might pack it in and go on out to Paris, Texas, and farm. I don't believe it.
I think he's having more fun now than he's ever had.
I don't believe it.
A great year that he had last year.
Too much starch in that guy.
Been a little frustrating this year with the suspensions that he's had, with the injuries that he's had. Of course, last year he was relatively free of injury, and he knew it.
Yep. Brian Bergdorf returns now at quarterback, working out of the shotgun. Pressure coming, gets the pass off. And the pass is caught by Chris Anderson, but he is immediately taken down, and there's a loss on the play of about 3 yards. And so it is 4th down and 30.
Alabama, without Jay Barker or without a quarterback, does not have the facilities and the ability to come back against this Florida defense.
They are going to have to do something about the offense.
Yes.
They're going to have to change some things or do something, because the offense has not been as effective as the defense, particularly in the second half of the season. Ryan Deal drives that ball. Turns out to be a pretty good kick where Palmer picks it up. And there's one of those blocks in the back right there. So Florida's going to be penalized for illegal blocking there. And that'll back them up some more. It's a 56-yard punt. You've got 9 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the ball game.
Illegal block in the back, on the run back, 10-yard penalty.
A 28-13 Florida lead over the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Examine this carefully before you buy your next car. Not just because it has standard dual airbags and starts at under $11,000, but because this is the new Geo.
Tennessee's going to Citrus Bowl, right? This is Eric Rett starting around the corner for about 8 yards, and that gets your clock rolling.
That's what we hear. They don't meet until tomorrow morning, you know.
But if you look ahead to next year, you got to figure Tennessee comes out preseason no worse than what? Third? If Schuler
stays in school, they'll be up there.
You know, talking about Auburn's incredible season. I saw David Housel. He just walking around shaking his head and smiling because it's been one of those fantasy years for them.
Sports information director you're talking about at Auburn.
And I want to tell you the line that I saw the other day from Pat Dye. Here's that little quick pop pass. This time Willie Jackson holds on. It's good for a first down, move the chain. But Pat Dye at the senior dinner the other night was the first speaker. And he was advising all who would listen that he has become a roaring, even obnoxious, as he said, Auburn fan, and he intended to continue to be. After 12 years as a coach, he said to Terry Bowden at the banquet, "Terry, I hope you can back up everything I say."
Yeah, yeah, I'm an alumnus now, right?
Yep. Put it on the 46 and call it a first down. Alabama's defense now is getting tired. You can see it. They're not quick. They're not penetrating as they were earlier. And the line of scrimmage is steadily becoming the property of Florida.
Here's a look at the combined play of Terry Dean and Danny Wuerffel. 59 completion percentage before today, and 37 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, an SEC team record for touchdowns, an SEC record for points by an offense, and this is without Shane Matthews, who graduated. Terry Dean and Wuerffel doing a nice job together.
The Alabama man down on the field and hurt is Shannon Brown, defensive lineman.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Southeastern Conference asks for your cooperation following the conclusion of today's
unfortunately,
game.
they're fiddling around with a knee.
All gates
Hate
of Legion
to see
Field
that.
will be open at the end of the game. Please stay
We had a crowd of 76,345 come out in the rain today to watch. It has been a pretty good football game up to now, but right now the Gators are threatening to really take control of it. Tonight on ABC, the Olsen twins from Full House star in a holiday movie special, To Grandmother's House We Go, with Rhea Perlman and Jerry Van Dyke. Then the commission enters the world of the rich and jaded, that's where Bob lives, to solve a murder. All tonight starting at 8 Central Time on ABC.
Where did you say I live?
Oh, my, look at this. Shannon Brown having to be helped off the field. It's almost that time. The jingling's going on. Pocket jingling over the last few days. There's Shannon. He is a sophomore, so here is another.
Well, he was on that list. Shannon Brown was on that list that we showed you earlier of injured defensive linemen. This is the second time around for him. You know, it takes a lot of things to build a championship team, and one of them is free of injuries, and that's what Alabama had last year. That has not been the case this year.
Well, this Florida team now, you know, their losses were by 3 points at Auburn and then last week to Florida State. You know, that is not a bad season.
No, you're exactly right.
Ooh. This is Eric Rett pounding up the middle, and they're just pounding on him right now, and that'll be another first down. Put the ball at the Alabama 42.
Florida's schedule is probably one of the toughest in the country. I was looking at something the other day that showed that their opponents' wins and losses were right up there with the toughest, and the other ones that I remember were UCLA had a tough schedule, Florida State, Miami, and Florida was right there.
with a 28-13 lead and 7.5 minutes to play in the game. It's Eric Rett time, right?
Here's a look at the AP top 5 and their number of games they've played against teams in the top 25. You see Florida State has played 6 games. Their opponent's record, very impressive for Florida State. Nebraska's played 2 and won them both. Their record there. But by far, Florida State with the most impressive opponent's record.
Shannon Brown now. They're still working on him. Big sophomore from Millbrook, Alabama. 2nd down and 5. Rett drops it, slides down. Lemansky came in to make contact and gets the tackle back at the 45-yard line. You know, I know that one of the great merchandising tools of all time is a controversial finish to something where you argue about next season. It's the best marketing in the world. But I'm deep down inside my soul, I'd still kind of like to see the undefeated teams play each other. Well, I really would. 3rd down and 13. Move it to about the 37.
What you're saying then is that you're going to punish a team like a Florida State for playing a team like Notre Dame or a team like Miami or a team like Florida in their non-conference schedule.
I don't believe I said anything about
Well,
Florida State.
indirectly, I think you were. I mean, if you don't look at the schedule, I think what you're going to have is people in the future not scheduling those types of games.
There's been a heck of a lot of them been doing it lately.
Yeah, well, that's true. Different ways to look at it.
Yep. I don't know. It just seems if you're undefeated, you ought to have a chance to butt heads with the other guy who's undefeated. David Palmer waiting for the punt.
Get a report on Shannon Brown. It's an ankle and not a knee that he injured. That's good news.
I'll tell you one thing, though, Bob. I am not now, nor will I ever be in favor of a one-game playoff. Nay, nay, nay.
But normally, if you just let the process work itself out, all of the questions and all of the problems that were brought up are usually answered. Occasionally it's not, but most of the time it works itself out.
Freddie Kitchen is warming up now. He's a quarterback of the future for the Crimson Tide. 6'3", 200-pound true freshman out of Ocala, Alabama. Strong. Ooh. Good snap. Edges kick it away, and that should go to the end zone. It does. It'll come to the 20, and there Alabama will have it. Now you got 5 minutes and 16 seconds to play in the ball game. You're trailing by 15 points, and the Philadelphia Eagles are loading up and heading for Dallas, where they're going to be chasing Emmitt Smith. You know, a lot of the big names of the Philadelphia defense gone, but those Eagles still will knock your head off, won't they?
Richie Kotite has done a nice job. As you mentioned, he's lost not only a lot of defensive guys, but a lot of offensive guys, and a lot of them have gone to the Dolphins. Keith Jackson is the tight end, and the fullback, and some others, a couple of linemen, one of the linemen anyway, and he's done a nice job with the Eagles with all the defections.
Sherman Williams makes the catch. And the play is good for about 6 yards. Palmer is playing quarterback in this series. Kitchens, we may see him. I have not seen him. He has played this year, but I have not seen him.
David Palmer's had a full day. 157 total yards.
They need something dramatic pretty quick. Got a man open. He caught it. That'll be Kevin Lee. The ball almost hit the shoulder pad and ricocheted away from him, but he reeled it in for a first down out at the 41-yard line.
If Alabama could hit a big one and get within 1 touchdown, this game could tighten up very quickly. And of course, we've got overtime in this game, or playoff, if it's a tie game.
Palmer takes off. They sort of gave up on him, and he just kept on tiptoeing down the sidelines, and he picked up 9 yards. Kevin Carter went in, but Kevin was in a mismatch trying to catch him. It'll be 2nd down and 1. The clock showing 4:38. He went out of bounds to stop it. You see what you've started, Bobby Bowden? 100 passes a game. Hollering for interference, but they don't get the call on Ed Robinson as he was covering Williams coming out of the backfield. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
So you would have the 2 undefeated teams play each other. What about Florida State? Don't you think Florida State is stronger than either of those two, or how do you feel about that?
Well, I remember the basic philosophy of polls has always been the undefeated team. And I remember when BYU won it, everybody talked about that. Trying for the 1st down, Forrest Turner, and the 2nd effort may have been just enough. Depends on the spot. I'm not questioning the quality of Florida State football team at all. Not doing that. I just said deep down inside my soul, I'd like to see the undefeated team.
I would too. You know, I would like to see 2 undefeated teams play at the end of the year with no question. But I think it would be unfair to Florida State, who played the toughest schedule in the country, to lose a game to a team play at Notre Dame when Notre Dame had a couple of weeks to prepare for it without giving them a shot. I mean, I think in the future you're going to see teams avoiding playing other tough teams.
It'll be a 1st down for Alabama at the Florida 49. 4:24 to play. Pressure coming, gets it away down the middle. 2 men there. Alphonse Gaston. Nobody made the play. Chad Key and Todrick Malone, they looked at each other and the ball went right between them.
They're not trying to really get a lot of pressure on Palmer. They just want to make sure that somebody is in front of him. A couple guys can raise their hand. A couple guys come up the side so he doesn't jump outside the pocket. That defensive line is the strength of this Gator defense.
Second down and 10. Williams can't get away. He gave up 3 yards as he circled back trying to get some help and get to the sideline. Ted Toller been named coach at San Diego State, in case you missed that. Happy for him. Missouri job is still open. Vince Tobin, I know, went out and talked about that job this past week. Vince Tobin, who was the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Stars with Jim Morrow in the USFL, lately with the Bears, good football coach. Larry Smith, I hear, is perhaps one of the candidates. David Palmer, all half undressed by somebody, but he's still upright and finally gets out of bounds, and he may have a 1st down. Marion Campbell at age 64 is going off to Georgia to coach the defense for Ray Goff and the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he may have been talking to Monty Clark, who came back and helping Bill Walsh out at Stanford. Good to see some of the quality coaches coming back into the game.
Put the ball just inside the 39-yard line, and it is a 1st down. To the sideline, good catch, Malone. 1st down, Alabama, Florida, 22-yard line. The executive producer of ABC Sports, Jack O'Hara. Coordinating producer of ABC's college football, Bob Goodrich, who also produced today's game, and who, like me, says, all of you in West Virginia, send your letters to Bob Greasy. Our game directed today by Drew Esikoff, technical director Gary Larkins, associate director Patrick McManus. Palmer ducks away from pressure, penalty flag down, a holding call coming up. See the splash as they go down on the far side of the field, so you got a hold coming up, I do believe, against Alabama. Looked like they were going to punch their way toward the end zone and maybe get in. Until
Illegal
this
block in the
happened.
back. Be 10 yards for the slow foul.
That's the same thing for hold. Same size penalty. Our production manager, Joe Alvarado. Our technical operations managers are Les Weiss and Jerry Reuter. Assistants to the producer, Doug Johnson and Brian Gordon. Our statistician, David Burnson. Our spotter is Todd Barry. Our computer statistician, Mark Ametto. Our sideline coordinator, Dick Schefter. And we're taking all the gremlins out of this technical operation today and shipping them to Norway, where they will grow into trolls high in the mountains. Palmer pumps it. Now he's got to run it. And they knock him down at the 30.
Ball brought down by number 56, Cameron Davis.
They have to go inside the 12-yard line
A 9-yard gain
for a first down. He's now at the 31.
This is the last game we'll do before the Rose Bowl. We've seen a lot of players this year, and I think one of the best was Charlie Ward last week. But this man right here, David Palmer, has got to be one of the most versatile in all of the positions that he can play. He returns kicks, he runs routes, he throws passes, he comes out of the backfield. Just an outstanding athlete.
Johnny Church knocked that ball away. Palmer today has run for 80, thrown for 89, received for 22, kickoff return for 50, and punt return for 30. I mean, if he hadn't earned his supper, I don't know who had. Give him an extra loaf of bread.
He looked like he was ready to go to dinner right then. He was tired.
Look at Bill Pittsburgh. Down to the 19-yard line. Time permitting, we invite you to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report featuring scores and highlights from the game. Army and Navy played today, and Army held on. Pretty dramatic ball game there. A lot of the playoffs in Divisions 1 AA, 2, and 3. Timeout.
It's a silver time.
It's fourth down and 7 for Alabama. The ball is at the Florida 19-yard line. 2 minutes and 5 seconds to play in the game. And Florida leads by 15 points, 28-13. And one gets the feeling they're not terribly well organized right now. Finally, they get West in the right place. Kevin Carter is after Palmer. His pass is away, deflected, and incomplete, and Florida takes over the football. Well, listen to these numbers. David Palmer, run 80, pass 89, receptions 22, kickoff return 50, punt return 30. Terry Dean, 20 of 37, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Those are the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game.
No short-handed, no Jay Barker.
19-yard line as Florida takes over. They've only got to kill the clock now for 2 minutes. And the Alabama Crimson Tide has 1 timeout remaining. And Florida now just spent 1 of their 2. 28-13. Gators have it in hand.
Saturday.
Suicides happen in all kinds of families. They're common. We're not.
The commish goes up against the super rich.
Carter did it. He killed her.
He's your father.
The 25-second clock was about to run out on Florida. That's why Terry Dean called the timeout. Obviously, they want the clock to run. With 2:01 to play and leading by 15 and a chance to win their second official championship of the Southeastern Conference.
In the 4 years that Steve Spurrier has been at Florida, they have finished first or second each of those 4 years. He has dominated everywhere he has been in the offensive categories in the quarterbacks, in the receivers, touchdown passes. His offenses have dominated anywhere he has gone.
Terry Dean now takes the snap, gets the clock spinning. Dean has never started and finished a game at Florida. But today he is going all the way. So we told you that Terry Dean and David Palmer are the Chevrolet most valuable players of the game. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for academic achievements and assist those in financial need. Alabama spends its last timeout, stopping the clock at 1:51.
Spurrier was the coach of the year 4 years in a row. His last 2 years at Duke when he was in the ACC, and then his first 2 years at Florida in the Southeastern Conference.
I would imagine that you'll see some change in the offensive philosophy over at Alabama next year. I think you'll see an emerging Arkansas perhaps next year. I don't see any reason why Auburn's not going to be tough next year.
What about Tennessee?
Tennessee is just going to be a holy terror next year. And I don't know why Florida won't be.
If Eric Zier, no, Florida will be. If Eric Zier is back, I think they've got a great foundation to build around.
Well, he said this week that he would wait until after the first of the year before he decides, and he won't come out if he's anything more than a second-round draft pick. It costs him money if he does. But this will be a tough conference again next year. And you can't figure on Jackie Sherrill and that bunch over there in Starkville being easy next year either. As we saw Ole Miss, when they started running out of people, they were a problem. That could be a very tough conference. South Carolina, Mike McGee's got to find himself a new coach.
Bill Curry did a nice job up at Kentucky this year, didn't he?
Sure did. But this is something of a prototype, this expansion of the Southeastern Conference and the conference playoff. As we noted in our halftime feature, this game produced close to $300,000 in additional revenue for the members of the conference, and that is self-produced revenue, which I think is very important considering the demands for money that exist in today's marketplace at the collegiate level. Now we have 40 seconds to play in the ball game, and it'll continue to run because Alabama cannot stop. Shane Edge will punt out of his end zone. Nobody back for Alabama, and now David Palmer comes trotting up from the sideline.
Well, just take the penalty here, run the clock down as far as they can, and then
mark it off 5. Edge will back up to the back line of the end zone.
He may even step out here and take a safety and then get a free kick.
Might do that.
That would be a safe thing to do. Might be safer than punting it.
No, didn't get a whole lot of it either. Got a pretty good bounce. Palmer takes it. And David scoots out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So Alabama will have a couple of more snaps. 19 seconds remaining. There was a total of 31, roughly, well, closer to $33 million total dollars parceled out by the Southeastern Conference last year. And it averaged out, that includes all sports, all income from all sources, and it averaged out pretty close to $3 million per school. That's the kind of money that's being produced by athletics. Now we see Freddie Kitchens for the first time. Freddie Kitchens is number 9. He's got a big, strong arm.
True freshman.
Yep. Look at him. Just hit that thing. I mean, it's intercepted, but you got to look at the way that he threw the ball. He threw the ball about 45 yards with a flick of the wrist. He's really strong. Florida's got the ball back. The whole thing is academic, actually, because there's only 9 seconds left with a 15-point margin in the ball game. And Freddie's got something to take home and think about.
And I'm sure that was the work. They said just get in there and throw it down deep. We don't care if it's intercepted. Well, it looks like the Gators are going to be in the Sugar Bowl. And they'll probably be...
USF&G Insurance Sugar Bowl.
Yes. Excuse me.
Second official title. They won another one, but they were on probation at the time, and it really didn't count.
That'll do it.
All we need is 5 seconds to tick away, and this game is over. 28, Alabama 13. Stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report.